At least two things seem to be constantly rising in Nepal. One is the masthead of the rising Nepal, the state-run English daily, and the other is the market prices. Other than that, everything seems to be going downhill. Whether it's the judiciary, whether it's the executive, or whether it's the parliament, the legislature, everything is on a free fall these days. One more thing that is on a free fall these days is the temperatures. As you can see, it's 13 degrees Celsius today, this morning. So it is expected to get like dip further in coming days as the winter becomes grimmer and grimmer. One more thing that is rising in Nepal, and that is causing a whole lot of distress, is the rise in the prices of petroleum products. Let me share with you a report about this rise that is making us quite uncomfortable, that is making us quite angry. This is a report published in the Spotlight Daily. I'm sharing with you. I'll just read out a part of that report. In in recent days, the government, the state-run fuel monopoly, the Nepal Oil Corporation, we used to call it the No Oil Corporation. It has sufficient oil these days, but the prices keep rising almost all the time. There have been occasions when the prices have risen uh, twice a month. In recent weeks also, these prices went up further. Uh, this upward adjustment took place. The price of uh, cooking gas got increased, and so did the prices of petrol and diesel and even kerosene. What this means is that, like, ours is also a diesel run economy. Like, our transport system runs on diesel. That means when the price of diesel surges, and when the price of kerosene surges, and when the price of diesel and cooking gas surge, what happens is the market prices soar, and that adds to the difficulties of the commoners. And in the midst of this scenario, uh, what was happening was, and the erstwhile government was planning to just gradually replace this diesel, petrol, fossil fuel run transport system and make a switch to electric transport system in a gradual manner, but in a huge setback to that towards that switch. The government, the Bagmati provincial government, has decided to put on hold its the plan to purchase electric vehicles. It had allotted the erstwhile government of CPN, the provincial government had allocated 300 million rupees to procure uh, 30 electric buses, but that government has just uh, opted out, and this government of the provincial government has the CPN, Unified Socialist Party, uh, at the helm, and it has decided to put on hold this plan to purchase 300 30 electric buses, citing what it calls this delay in the installation, citing the non-installation of charging stations. Uh, for the public, this seems to be a flimsy ground to not switch to uh, this electric transport. The question arises, what the question is like, the question arises, what is stopping this provincial government from working on war footing to just set up those charging stations? If it has the political will, it is no big deal, I think. And but this hesitancy towards electric transport uh, makes one wonder whether there is this some hanky panky involved in this whole affair, because there is this petroleum lobby and there is this huge cross-border petroleum pipeline connecting Nepal with India, and we are a country that is supposedly quite rich in uh, water resources. We supposedly have uh, a huge hydropower potential to the tune of 84,000 megawatts as per some studies. But this reluctance to switch to electric vehicles by just doing away with diesel, petrol, fossil fuel run transportation system is quite telling. It just points at it just points at some foul play going on to just make Nepal always reliant on fossil fuel. And this may be a part of that ongoing plot to export hydroelectricity, the green energy, at dot cheap rates, and uh, continue to uh, make Nepal reliant on fossil fuel, whose prices uh, seem to be always rising, and these hike uh, seem to be always putting the Nepali populations in dire straits. This has to stop. The provincial government has to just come clean on its uh, decision to just put on hold the purchase of electric vehicles, and this our march towards electric transport and gradual displacement of uh, fossil fuel based engine, fossil fuel based transport system should just continue in coming days as well. Otherwise, there may be public outrage, and that may lead to just toppling of this government also, in the worst case scenario. Put things into perspective, let me just share with you this interview with India's Union Minister for Transport, Nitin Gadkari.
And as a transport minister, my highest priority is for public transport on electricity. As far as the infrastructure is concerned, our first priority is to waterways, second priority is to railway, third priority is to the road, and fourth priority is for the aviation. But unfortunately, our public transport on road is decreased. Now for public transport, either it is buses or railway, and even airlines also, they are facing crucial problems because of COVID-19. Their business is not up to the mark. They are facing some crucial problems. But this is a temporary phase. I am confident that we will fight the war against COVID-19 and 100% we will win over the war, and also 100% we will win the war against economic problems. And that is the reason that electric vehicle, as a transport minister, our policy is ethanol, biodiesel, bio-CNG, electric and LNG. Because of pollution, air pollution and water pollution, a big problem for the country. You know the problem in Delhi. So first of all, we are encouraging biofuel. So first of all, our ethanol economy is of 20,000 crore. We are now planning to make it within 5 years, the ethanol economy of 5 lakh crore. We are giving permission to making ethanol BAB molasses. First of all, from sugarcane juice, making sugar, there is a 4% C molasses. We are converting molasses into ethanol. Then we are giving permission to make BAB molasses, that is 7%, adding 3% more sugar of agriculture towards energy and power sector. For that reason, we are allowing now making ethanol from corn and rice, even from that is first thing. Second thing, regarding e-vehicle, we have also a big program. Now 81% of the lithium-ion batteries we are making in India, and our first priority for 3-4 years we are going for a lithium-ion battery. We don't have any problem with it. There is no shortage of lithium. Actually, within 6 months, we will be positioned to make 100% lithium-ion battery in India, made in India and make in India. The other important thing where we have a large meeting in my ministry with NITI Aayog, ISRO, DRDO, all institutions, research laboratories, Prime Minister, scientific advisor, and all the stakeholders. And at that meeting, we are working on aluminum ion, zinc ion, sodium ion, and steel ion. Alternative for lithium ion also, the process is going on. Then we are working on hydrogen, green hydrogen fuel cell. The Chennai IIT has invented, successfully experimented about from seawater, they get green hydrogen. So hydrogen is also the mission for us. We are working on that. We are now for a experimental level. We are now starting some green buses